Welcome to Manifestation Mondays with Marcy. I, of course, am Marcy Newman, known as a Heart Shift Coach. And for today, I am here to talk with you about the effects of the eve of independence on your manifestation. Now, notice I didn't say the eve of Independence Day, even though this is July 3rd, 2023. And yes, we are on the eve of the 4th of July, known generally as our Independence Day. I want to focus in on the energy of independence rather than just the date. In order to do this, we have to start to recognize that energy is available to us in some, or you might say in some ways, at various times throughout the year, in a way that's different than other times. So, as you know, 4th of July is often spent in a lot of fun, right? People get together, there are barbecues, they're on picnics, they are having pool parties, all kinds of things. And particularly if it's a long weekend, like this is, then people have traveled, sometimes even far distances, to be with each other. And so there is this great anticipation of so much fun. Finally being able to kick back, let the concerns of the days, be left where they are and come together and just have fun. Now, in order for us to be able to do that, number one, we have to address the fact that we're really very blessed, aren't we? To be so independent that we have the ability to do that. We have the ability to get together with friends and family, even if they do live quite a distance away. We have the ability to travel to them, to invite our friends and family, no matter where they live. And, of course, to put our focus on having fun. This, as you know, is not present in some of the other countries around the world. And so we want to take a look, first of all, at what independence actually means, and why this particular celebration is so important to us. The energy of independence has a prerequisite, and that prerequisite is that you have claimed your power to be free. Now, I say claimed because freedom is an energy that is a constant. It is there continuously. But unless we recognize the energy, we may not be tapping into it. The freedom and the independence go together. You might say it's another one of those marriages made in heaven. Because in order to be independent, you have to actually recognize yourself as free to be independent. What that means is that for a certain degree, you have claimed your own power. You see yourself as self-sufficient and making decisions for yourself, even whether it's just traveling to where you want to be to celebrate and be with friends and family. This energy, as I said a moment ago, is not available to many others around the world. They don't have the freedom that we have come to appreciate and sometimes take for granted. And so on this Manifestation Monday, I want to put an emphasis on how important it is that we really come into an appreciation of our freedom. In fact, we're going to shift from appreciation into gratitude. And the reason that I believe that this is so absolutely essential right now is because what we have seen over the last couple of years is how easy it has been for our freedom to be denied us. Through the many rules and regulations, we saw how the freedoms that we had taken for granted were suddenly gone, not available to us. And no matter how we pushed against or tried to even justify in some degree, the sense of loss was tremendous. The effects of that loss has had an incredible effect on the mental health and well-being of people all around the country. However, it has also had the same effect on countries all around the world that also had their freedoms denied them. And so we have had this incredible experience that should have, and even though I don't like to use the word should, it could have spotlighted for us the importance of our freedom. And so my question to you is, has it done that? Or have you been lulled back into this false sense of security once again and have forgotten the importance of the freedom that you were denied? In order to be free, you have to embrace freedom as a spiritual value, a spiritual quality. It's one actually that the energy must be fed regardless of your outside constraints upon it. We saw this over and over again, and I personally experienced this as I found my world getting smaller and smaller, and myself getting more and more detached because so much of my life was being played out in front of a screen. The same kind of screen that I'm speaking to you on now. And so for myself, I began to realize how essential freedom is for me. And freedom shot right to the very top of my spiritual values. What I began to notice were the effects of being imprisoned. And it wasn't pretty. In fact, I would say I'm still coming back into balance with claiming that for myself, being able to feel free. During that time took a great deal of effort on my part. Was it the same for you? Or did you just sort of fall into the complacency? I couldn't. The complacency actually started to make me ill. I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel good about where I was living, how I was living, how limited my life was. I can tell you now that that complacency was a danger zone for me. And so I went out of my way to find ways that I could still exercise my freedom. I canvassed the area to find out which stores were still open, what their hours were, and whether or not I could be there. I discovered that there were all kinds of ways for me to exercise my freedom, but they were different from the freedom that I had taken for granted before. As I said, I had to go out of my way to make certain that I was getting out of my home, that I was getting away from this screen, that I was still in the presence of other people, because it was that important for my well-being. I discovered that it was important for me to be able to make a decision about, am I going out? Where am I going? What are my options? And I kept my options open as much as possible. It was important that I had open, authentic, true conversations I found that the small talk, the ways that we somehow acquiesce or, allow others to sort of commandeer conversations just so that we can be in one, was something that didn't fulfill me. And so I started to make certain that those that I had conversations with, I could be totally free to be me, to be authentic, to be a full expression of myself. I dug down deep and I made certain that I was feeding my spiritual nature, making certain that what I fed it with was expansive, because it's in the expansiveness I realized that I felt free. And it was only in my owning my freedom, exercising my freedom, taking actions that fed my sense of feeling free, that I also had any sense of independence. I found out a lot about myself. When it came time, to examine the effects of the loss of my freedoms on my life, how it affected me and my relationships. And so on this eve of independence, what I want to stress to you more than anything is that you come back to this place of appreciation, this place of gratitude, that you have the freedom to exercise how you will celebrate, how you will spend your time. Will you ride the waves of freedom and levity, the joy that's coming up of people coming back together again and just having fun? It's here for you to harness. The energy of freedom and independence is such a high vibrational frequency. Once you ride that wave, you will find that you can manifest faster than ever before, like in the speed of light. The danger to that is the complacency. And so in this moment, I'd like to invite you to come back into your heart, to express your gratitude for the freedoms that you now have, and to vow that you will make certain that you feed the freedom within you so that you are empowered by it, and nothing will be able to take it from you again. Do not lose the lessons that these last couple of years have taught us, these refreshers. They were meant to refresh, and in many cases, to start even again. What do I want? How do I want to feel? Who do I want to spend my time with? What do I want in my life? And to make certain that we are feeding all of the energies that bring about that sense, once again, of being free, of being independent, and remembering that we are sovereign beings. And yes, to vow never to let those freedoms be taken from us again. And most of all, to make certain that we do not take them for granted. Never, ever again. The dangers of that are the dangers of actually losing ourselves. And of course, our superpower. So I invite you to claim your freedom, claim your independence, claim your sovereignty. Really celebrate this day of independence. It's here for you. How beautiful that is. So let's end this with an affirmation. I am free. I am a sovereign being. I am the power of independence. And I am free to take actions to align with it. So go have fun, have the greatest time of your lives, get together with every person who shares your sense of gratitude for the freedoms that you are enjoying in this moment. Claim them, and again, vow to take the actions to keep them alive and well within you. So much love to you, and of course, I'll see you right back here again. See you next week. Bye-bye.